GGRC.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and today I'm just going to be checking in with you. And a checking in video on this channel basically means it's a channel update. I'm just checking in to see how you guys are doing. You can see how I'm doing, talk about some personal things, talk about the things we've been playing on the channel, and maybe some other things I haven't been playing on the channel. So, first things first, you'll notice Sushi is not here with me as he normally is. Lately, if you've been watching the videos, you'll notice Sushi has been joining me. Well, Sushi has been going through sort of a phase where he now likes to sleep in the upstairs bathroom sink. So, if you watch one of my videos and you don't see him on stream, that's more than likely where he is. On top of that, you might notice my surroundings are a lot different. You're kind of like probably thinking, where are the plushies? Where are the little, video game characters and stuff like that? I just got a white wall and a table over here and a curtain back here. Well, I talked about this at the beginning of the month when people noticed that things were a little bit weird in the background. I'm actually redoing my basement. We moved into a house a couple of months ago. You might remember me talking about it here on the channel. But we're completely going forward and finishing the basement. This was something I didn't think we'd be doing until next year, but we saw an opening before winter hits, and I figured, you know what, let's just do it. Let's get it done. And, it's going pretty good. We're already to the point now where we have insulation up on the walls, and the next time we work on it, we're going to be putting up drywall. So I'm hoping within the next month, this is going to be taken care of. Now, probably the most exciting news for the channel this month is the fact that we now have a Discord channel. That's right. In addition to a Steam group, we now have a Discord channel. So if you want to join us, you're going to be able to see the links for both of those in the description and in the comments below. So make sure you join up with us so you could chat with me, you could chat with other viewers of the videos, and we'll all have a really good time in there. We're posting a lot of cat pictures and dog pictures and everything else, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, as far as videos up on the channel this month, there have been a lot. This might have been one of my most productive months on the channel. I didn't count the videos, but there's a ton of them. Right after checking in for July and August, we immediately got a code to check out We Happy Few. Now, We Happy Few has been a, I don't know, it's been a game that's sort of been dividing audiences, I would say. Some absolutely love it, and some despise it. It's been a very love-or-hate type of game, and I can honestly say that I was kind of in the middle. I actually haven't played any more of the game than what we played on that live stream that I did. I played about 2.5 hours of it, and I'm a little lukewarm on it. I think it's a cool game. I think that the concepts and everything there, are there to make it into something really, really special, but it seems like it's something that they've been working on for quite a while and just hasn't really gotten to where it needs to be, if that makes sense. Parts of it still feel really janky. If you watch the stream, you can still see like enemies sort of like glitching out on walls and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff I felt like should have been fixed by the time it was released. But the game itself has had a very tumultuous sort of life, I guess, since it was early access a few years ago. But regardless, though, it's one of those games that I do feel like it's a love it or hate it. You're either going to play it and be like, wow, I really wish that they would make more games like this, or you're going to hate it and go like, wow, I really hope they don't make any more like this. I'm somewhere in the middle where I was like, I don't think it's bad, I don't think it's great, but it's somewhere in the, good to mediocre range for me. Now, this month, I got a ton of keys for other indie games, 2D style type games. I recommend going to check out the channel because I'm not going to have time to talk about all of them, but definitely some of them are worth mentioning, and one of them I actually have the box for right here. The video I did for the game was actually for the Steam version because they actually sent me a code for that one, but I went ahead and bought it for Switch anyway. It's Dead Cells. There we go. No light reflection. But regardless, Dead Cells, worth your time if you're into 2D Ninja Gaiden style combat games with secrets everywhere, and you like games that have roguelike elements in them. This game is awesome. This game has sort of become my new play a couple rounds before bed style game, and it's really, really good, guys. I recommend checking it out. Now, as far as Quake goes, we already mentioned Quake Champions, but I wanted to point out, we played through a lot of Quake stuff this month. We did Speed Map Pack 183 and 184. We did Speed Map Pack 185, and then we played through Crown of Thrones, which is a newer map by another author. We played through the Underwater Map Jam, and then we tied it all off just a few days ago playing the first community request show where people actually request maps for us to play, but you show up to our Discord or our Steam groups, and you basically just suggest a Quake map that you want me to play through, and I'll play through it. We actually were able to get through 4 of the 5 maps because one map was just way too big for us to fit into the stream, but we still got into a let's see, 2 hour, 15-minute stream here and 4 different maps that people suggested. I think a lot of people had a lot of fun. We're definitely going to do another one in the future. Now for September, instead of doing a straight up community request show, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. So when I was taking requests for that Quake show, what ended up happening was a lot of the maps that people were requesting were done by an author named CZG. Now, CZG is actually sort of like a mapping legend in the Quake community, and I haven't played through a lot of his maps on the channel. I think just 2 of them. Just 2. So, I think 3 or 4 of the suggestions were for his maps, so I said, you know what we're going to do? In September, we're just going to play through a whole episode of his maps, so definitely look forward to that this month. Okay, so as far as games that I've been playing that I haven't been talking about or showing off on the channel, I'm really bad about this. I really should have been talking about it a little bit more openly. But one is a game that came out a few weeks ago on the 3DS, believe it or not. It is Warioware Gold. There we go, again, with the light reflection there. But this is a great game. I don't know if any of you out there who played the WarioWare series, but they're basically like really quick mini games that you play in succession to get through different bosses and everything like that. So you might play through, 15 to 20 rounds before you lose all your lives or whatever. And in that, you might like do anything from like picking nose hairs to like, dropping fruit in a specific barrel to kicking something. Like, it's just all kinds of crazy stuff, right? One of the boss battles actually has you sort of diverting people into the correct bathroom. So people in orange shirts got to go to the orange bathroom, and people in the blue shirts got to go to the blue bathroom. So you're basically just like hitting the right way for them to go, like tilting the 3DS for the way for them to go. And there's a lot of other zany stuff in there like that, and that's what has made WarioWare really cool over the years, is that how zany and crazy it is. So for those of you who haven't played WarioWare before, I definitely recommend checking this out, because this actually has 300 mini-games in it, and they're all from all of the older WarioWare games. So this is sort of like a best-of game, I guess, if you had to think of it that way, but I definitely recommend it for any 3DS fans out there. Alright guys, for the sake of keeping this video somewhat quick, I have one more game to talk about here, which is Octopath Traveler. Now, Octopath Traveler is a game that I was very interested in from the get-go. When it was announced, I was like, oh cool, they're doing sort of a Super Nintendo or, PlayStation era, JRPG, which seemed really alluring to me because those games from back then, they hold a special place for a lot of people. There's some of them that I really like, and some of them, I'm a little lukewarm on. But regardless, I was really excited to play through this. And this is one of those games where I played straight every night before bed, probably about an hour or 2 for maybe like 2 weeks straight, right? I would say I'm about 20 hours into it, right? But as we know with JRPGs, they are long. And being about, 20 hours into it, maybe 18 hours into it, I'm about to play against the final boss for the final character, because the way this works is the reason it's called Octopath is you have 8 characters, and you can make a group of 4 out of those 8, and they travel around, they fight monsters, they do quests and everything like that. And I'm about to recruit the 8th person. Rather, I should say I'm in the middle of recruiting the 8th person. I just have to take out her boss, because everybody basically has, from what I've read, 3 chapters. I'm finishing up the first chapter for the 8th character, and then I'll be starting the second chapter over again for the first character I picked. There's only so many main quests that you can go on, but there's a lot of secrets and a lot of different crazy stuff like that to find. Now, the reason I haven't talked about it is because I was debating doing a video on it, because with long games like RPGs especially, I'm never quite sure how to present them in a video, because you figure this game, I believe, is supposed to be like an 80-hour game, and to show maybe a half hour to an hour of it seems very minor. It seems like you're not really going to get an idea what the game is all about. Though this game I probably will do a video on eventually here, because after playing 20 hours of it, it does become very repetitive. As do most JRPGs, I guess you could say they become repetitive. But this one, I feel like especially becomes repetitive. And at times it becomes more tedious, I think, than fun, because it's actually really clever the way they do the combat. They have combat with monsters where the monsters actually all have weaknesses, and they're all weak to certain weapons that you carry or spells that you could cast, right? And you actually have to find these out every time you fight the monsters, which is actually kind of cool. It's a cool idea. You also have the ability to break that monster if you use their weakness against them, and they have a number next to them, say they have a number 2, and they're weak to swords. If you hit them with the sword twice, they'll break, and then they'll kind of be like dizzy for a couple rounds, and you can do like free hits on them. And usually that's a strategy used against bosses and stuff, which is very, very helpful. However, when you've done that like hundreds of times, it gets to be, in my opinion, very repetitive and a bit tedious. So I'm still having fun with it, but I'm kind of taking a break from it. I haven't played it for a few weeks. I'm hoping that at some point, like, I'll walk away from it and then I'll come back to it and it'll feel a little bit more fresh again. But to have already put about 20 hours into it, I definitely have had fun with it. But I want to see where the stories are going and see how they intertwine with everybody, because all 8 characters have a very different story. Some stories not so good, other stories much better than others, but would really like to see where all that's going. Well, there you go, everybody. Like I said, just a really quick checking in video to see how you're doing, so you can see how I'm doing, and just give you a quick channel update for what we did the past month and sort of what we're going to be doing this month. But regardless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time on GGRC. GG, everybody.
GGRC.